Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome host of the CarCast podcast, Mr. Matt D'Andrea.
There you go. Thank you. Welcome to Nissan's New York Dream Garage. We're celebrating 50 years of performance and innovation. I know everyone here loves performance cars, and the GTR and Z marks have been the pinnacle of performance for 5 decades. I'd like to introduce my guest today from Nissan, Hiroshi Tamura, and the legendary Peter Brock. Tamura-san.
Hi.
You are the Chief Product Specialist for Nissan GTR and Z. Please describe a little bit what your role is at the company.
Yes, it's that, but simple to say, I'm like a orchestra conductor. Like a player is like a violinist or a trumpet, or everybody is like an engineer or a designer or stuff, and the team must work for some single direction, like a concept. And the concept player is me.
Concert player, he's the orchestra of it all. I love that. What does the GTR and Z marks mean to you? And why are they so important to Nissan?
It's brand. It's brand. Simple brand. But sometimes it's difficult to explain. Like a GTR is for a big horsepower, or sometimes a Z is small power. It's not order. It's a more something spiritual point. Is a different standpoint because of the GTR is like a mobile beast, strong energy and power. But Z is more like a dance partner. You are breathing or something, you can feel about for something. That's why, for example, the solution, natural aspiration engine we installed in the Z.
Right, wow. GTR is the beast and the Z is the dance partner. I like that. Yeah. That's good. What is your favorite GTR vehicle? Or maybe just tell us what your first car was.
Second question is easy.
Second question is easy. All right.
Yeah, it's my first car in my life was Skyline Kennedy. Oh, no, sorry. This is a Kennedy GTR racing car, by the way. Racing car. But, you know, for Skyline has many histories, long history, actually more longer than for GTR. But anyway, for Skyline of Kennedy is one of the big imprinting in me. And Ford Donut Style it has. That's why for my son, you know, for behavior, I want to put on for my product for Ford Donut Styles. But anyway, for some Skyline Kennedy is my first car. And I love Skyline GTR. Second generation of the 32 because I bought about for this car. All right. And still I'm keeping about this car.
So it's your first car and the R32 is kind of your favorite. Right?
Yeah.
Kind of your favorite. Yeah. Okay.
Because big energy I can grab from a 32 Skyline GTR.
So the Nissan GTR is celebrating a birthday. We've got a 50-year anniversary. Absolutely. What does the legacy of this mean to you? It's a big question. It's a lot. It's 50 years of answers right now.
Yeah, but we could keep about for some, how can I say, for...
One thing, you made history. That's the important.
Yeah, history is a history, but always we are like pursuing about for ultimate driving pleasure. So which means for, sometimes people said about for racing car for us. That is not true. The only for some typical play spot is racing bubble, but the most important for me is the customer some mindset. It's a feeling about for the driving pleasure. That's why for some each by each, year by year about for gather, that finally we will be able to get about for someday of the good some brand that we could reach about for some good result by GTR. And today is 50th anniversary.
50th anniversary, which is great. You know, I had an opportunity to drive several of the Nissan GTR since it came out here in the US roughly 10 plus years ago. And one of the things that I have noticed, and I just drove the 2019 GTR, is it came out, it was an incredibly fast car. I can't say how fast, 0 to 60, 2.9, whatever. It just blows your mind how fast. But the evolution of the GTR has been to make it so much more refined and comfortable and drivable. I think it's probably not easy to make a fast car, but it's got to be a lot more difficult to make a car that quick, this total performance car, to make it that quick and make it more comfortable and more drivable over time. The GTR has evolved quite a bit over the last 10 plus years. What can we expect from the future of GTR?
It's a dangerous question for future model access. But simple to say, still I want to keep about for customer driven. So the customer voice is very important for me. That's why I would like to keep about for this momentum and for total balance management of the chasing point, like an ultimate pursuing the driving pressure, it's very important for us. That's why for even this next 10 years or the other 50 years, I would like to keep about for this momentum.
Yeah,
for the customer.
Well, the benchmark's set pretty high, so you guys got some work to do.
Yeah, because of the GTR. And you know, the GTR or Nissan hit me for when I was 10 years old of the kids. And still this kind of, you know, super legacy is keep on. I'm happy and I would like to keep this legacy for the futures, for the young people.
Yeah, well thank you. All right, Mr. Brock.
Yeah.
Legendary Pete Brock, my friend. You ran BRE, you ran Brock Racing Enterprises. This is the West Coast racing team for Datsuns and Nissans back in the 60s and 70s. We won't get into specific dates.
Yeah.
How did
a few years ago.
How did you first become associated with Datsun?
Well, it was an exciting time because at that time, remember, 50 years ago, everybody was focused on the cars from Europe, the Porsches and the Triumph. And for Nissan to come out, nothing had ever been seen like this. And we started out as a privateer team racing in a couple of 2000. And the first year, we came out of nowhere on the West Coast and won the Pacific Coast Division Championship, qualified 2 cars for the National Championship runoffs. Never expected by anybody at all. And from that point on, we were invited by Mr. Katayama, who was then the president of Nissan, invited me up to his office and surprised me. He showed me the pictures of the 240Z, which absolutely blew me away, and asked us to run the team for the next 2 years. It was the greatest compliment as a team owner and manager and a racer that a guy could ever have. It was fabulous.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and I commend Nissan or Datsun at the time to wanting to try to get into racing into American racing and work with guys like you to make that happen. Do you have a favorite racing car from your Be On Your Racing days?
Well, it has to be the 240Z because that's the car that really launched us. I mean, the 2000 put us on the first step when Mr. Katayama gave us that opportunity, and that car had already developed in Japan by Mr. Tamura. You know, he was giving us a present that already had his development in it, enabled us to go off and win 2 national championships in a row, right out of the box, which was never expected. You know, a total change, and it really launched the whole image of Nissan in the United States at that time. Until nobody, if it hadn't been for Mr. Katayama and his vision of where we were going to go, it never would have happened. And if we hadn't gotten the cars for Mr. Tamura, it wouldn't have happened. So that combination really lit it off and made it for us.
By the way, sometimes people misleading about for I'm only GTR guy, but I had a 240ZG with this G-nose with the really low fender.
The G-nose is sharp looking. I like the look of that car. Yeah, we had one of those back in the collection. Oh, speaking of the collection, this isn't even in the notes. I'm just going to tell you guys right now. Pete Brock comes down to our car collection. We've got a bunch of the BRE cars and the Datsun race cars over there, and the Tolman racing cars over there. And every time he comes by, we get another little tidbit about the cars we didn't know about. He came by and showed us the first BRE Datsun Roadster, the 2000 Roadster. And it has this great front air dam on the front. And the front air dam, like a splitter, was not legal in racing at the time. So he designed brake ducts. And the brake ducts were essentially a splitter that you guys designed in. And I know the next season, everybody had it.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's the background as a car designer to be able to put all the graphics that made the car, especially putting the red, white, and blue on the car that integrated that car in the American psyche and understanding that you can take a top product. Before that, people didn't really understand what capability Japanese cars had. And when Tamura-san, who had that car guy feeling of making a super quality product, and Mr. Katayama's vision of building a super slick car that had everything that the American market needed, and then we could make that into a race car, was really the success of the whole thing.
You know, the evolution of technology and performance has been a big part of GTR and the Z brand.
Yeah.
What do you think of the comparison of the modern day GTR with the historic Dazens that you raced in the 60s and 70s?
I mean, it's night and day. I mean, the performance, the improvement especially that has gone on, everything that goes on in Japan and is being developed, you know, years ahead, and then we get it over here, we can benefit from that. You know, the new GTR with all the four-wheel drive and the special launch control and the speed power that comes out of it is so unexpected at that time when we started out, and now it is at the peak of sophistication that you can look at is the top end of real engineering on it, and that would not have happened without somebody that passionately cares about automotive engineering the way Mr. Tamura has, and having management at the top that understood it as well.
Pete and I were watching launch control whole shots with the GTR and the videos before we came out here, so we were checking that out. But it's a lot like what Tamura-san was saying. It's that total balance of performance is what's integrated into these cars now, which is a lot of work. It's a lot of engineering, a lot of smart brain power that you guys are working on over there. This is kind of special. So today, Nissan is showing the new 2020 370Z 50th anniversary edition car. You guys have seen it over there right behind you. This must be an incredible honor to have that car pay homage to your racing career.
I'll tell you, walking in the door here and seeing that car over there with an honor livery that we developed for the Nissan racing team, and have them put that on the car is such an honor for me, and a recognition that the factory appreciates what we did. And this is 50 years ago. I mean, we've got management today that wasn't even alive when we're racing, and that whole heritage and history and what we created that long ago still resonates here, and it continues on with the passion that Tomorrow's got, and that's we've got all the new cars that are going. So from there to here, it's night and day, and I love what they've done on it, but they're far, far beyond anything that we ever done. We were so naive compared to what's being done now. It's fantastic.
What did you get to work with them here and get some input on how that car is going to look?
It's fabulous looking.
It's fabulous. Right.
I'm so stoked with that car. I think, you know, there's only going to be 50 of them out there, but they're going to be pretty special.
Oh, you better hurry up if you want one. I feel like they're gonna move quickly. Tamura-san, how it must be important for cars like that to bring back that legacy, to share what guys like Pete Brock have done, taking some of the racing career and putting it into modern day cars, even just as a special editions package like that.
Yeah,
It's nice. It's a great package. Tamura-san, Mr. Brock, thank you guys so much for joining us today. This has been fantastic. I want to thank all of you guys for being here as well. We certainly would like to invite you guys to come up and check out the Dream Garage. Check out these cars. They're really amazing when you get up on them.
One thing, seeing is believing, but also car is the 3D world. Driving is believing. So please contact about for our dealer to drive about the car.
Okay, so go buy a car.
Yeah, thank you.
Go buy a Z. Just go buy a Z already before, you know, there's only 50 of those, so write it down now. When we wrap up here, guys, I'm going to remind you that Mr. Pete Brock is going to be signing autographs, I think behind you where you guys are, right over there. And he's got a special limited edition poster that is just here, so if you guys go over there and get a signature from that, we'd love for you to do that. Thank you guys so much. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you.